All right, awesome tech you can't buy yet. Joining us, of course, is Drew Prindle to talk about whatever these products are that he has scoured the internet to find. It is always interesting to see what kind of crowdfunding campaigns are out there. Drew, hello, good to see you. And which one do you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about this Arsenal 2 thing, this little camera add-on. So this thing basically gives your DSLR an AI brain. And what I mean by that is so you know how your cell phone doesn't necessarily have the best camera on it, but it compensates for that by basically doing all kinds of software processing and color correction and focus and all of this stuff. That all happens in software. It's not actually your camera doing that. It's not like you're adjusting the aperture and all of that stuff. That concept of using software to make the photo better, right on the device, is pretty much what this thing does. So it uses AI to do all of these things that you see on the screen right now. And it blends them together in such a way that it brings out the best parts of the scene so that you don't have to worry about the little technical details of what you're shooting. You just worry about the composition, basically what you're looking at. And it takes the rest from there. So you can see the before and after photos, what it would look like with and without this this Arsenal 2 thing on your camera. And it's absolutely mind-blowing, some of the shots that they show off in this video. So yeah, I definitely recommend checking out the video on this one.
Yeah, and we're taking a look at it here, and it's $150. It was actually less than I thought it would be. This is definitely cool, adding in this kind of aspect and ability with it. I would imagine for true photographers, I don't know if that's something that they would. I don't know if they're more traditional, would want to be doing it by hand, and now everybody can actually have it with this. I wonder about that kind of argument, but either way, this is a pretty cool add-on for this.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be purists, actual professional photographers that are just ugh, you're cheating. That's not real photography. But how many people do you know that are actual true good professional photographers and can pull off an image like that without any assistance? This is basically just training wheels for the rest of us, and it'll help you take better shots. And if it's years of practice that help you do that, or a little tool that you can buy for $150, take your pick.
Yep. Well, so that one is called the Arsenal 2. So again, you can check that out there. It looks like this one, oh yeah, definitely funded. They had a goal of $100,000. They've got 24 days to go. And it's going up just right when I'm watching this. So it's about $2.5 million right now is where they're at.
Yeah, the original
so a lot of
one
people want to use this.
Yeah, the original Arsenal was one of the most highly funded photography projects on Kickstarter ever, and it raised over $2 million itself. So it's not surprising that the second generation that they've come back with new and improved features is also up over $2 million.
Well, going from there, let's go on to our next one here. What do we got?
Let's talk about the Whispr. So another thing that has a lot of there's a weird subculture on crowdfunding almost is at home and travel focused workout gear. There's all kinds of super clever workout devices on these platforms, and this is the latest addition to that growing trend. And it's interesting because not only is it a different kind of workout thing, it's effectively a rowing machine. But it's tiny. It's 6 inches by 6 inches. It's a little cube, and it's designed to be like those other gym things that they basically hook into your door, or you can attach them to anything that's kind of sturdy in your house, and it's small enough to fit into a carry-on. But despite being super tiny and compact and all that stuff, it gives you a massive range of different workouts. That it basically replaces a rowing machine, and if you know what rowing machines are, they're huge and they're super unruly, and you kind of have to have a house with a dedicated room for it in order to use one. But this thing, it's the size of a 6-pack, and you can fit it in a carry-on. So yeah, pretty neat idea.
This is actually really cool. When you're looking at the tech behind it, and $199, that's a super good deal if that's what it starts out with. I do have to say the stand-up paddleboard workout looks pretty ridiculous, so I wouldn't do that one in front of anybody. But I guess I can't say it's any more ridiculous than other ones.
I want to know who's working out, doing the stand-up paddleboard workout so that they can become the best paddleboarder. That's not exactly a competitive activity that you need to be at peak performance. No. It's more of just a leisurely lake activity. It's kind of weird to me, but yeah.
Go stand-up paddleboard, bro. Gonna be a champion. But anyway, but still, no, this thing is pretty cool. So again, it's the this one in particular. So carbon The mirror with the personal trainer inside. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's a different one that I'm taking a look at right there. I skipped on to another one. The Whipper. The Whipper is what we're talking about. So, Whipper, very cool paddle ski row, and again, also very well funded. About $2.3 million out of a $25,000 goal. All right, so we've got two. What's the third one?
All right, I saved the best for last this week. This last one is not actually a product you can buy, but it's almost better. So let me back up a little bit. Basically, it's a racing mech. And this is something that I know you've seen, Greg. You saw it at CES a few years back. But for those of you who don't know, there's this guy who has built a four-legged like mech, a mechanical robot thing with legs that move, and you sit inside the cockpit and you control each of its limbs with your arms. And he had this wild idea and kind of brought it to life. And I actually went out and got an in-person like demo of it. I got to see it try and move a few years back. And the problem was it couldn't quite walk back then. It really could just like shudder and move and make a lot of noise, but it wasn't functional in that it could walk. But apparently they have improved it. They've gotten to the point where it can actually walk. And now what they're doing is they're trying to kick off this racing league. They want they imagine this thing to be like NASCAR. They're going to have a bunch of different pilots racing these giant robots. And what the Kickstarter is for is they want people to come and like try out. And basically you pay, I believe it's $1,900 for a chance to like be one of these pilots and go through their training course and be involved in the first ever racing mech circuit.
I gotta wonder if that's real time footage or if they sped that up, because as I recall, it doesn't move very fast. I've sat inside that thing before at CES. I was able to climb up into it, and it's cool. You are really, you're way higher up than that actually looks. Like you're pretty far up there. That's awesome. I don't know if I would pay $1,900 though for it. But I like this. I like the idea of a mech. Would you join the mech racing league?
I mean, not for $2,000, no. Maybe in the future when it doesn't have that kind of startup cost and it's maybe a little bit more fleshed out. Honestly, I am super impressed that they've come this far. When I saw it, I was like, this is going nowhere. It's a flashy, cool robot that's kind of gonna fizzle out in a couple years. But really, what happened is those demos that we were getting a couple years ago were enough to attract a bunch of engineers and designers and stuff who all kind of have been collaborating on this for the past couple years, and it's gotten remarkably better. So yeah, if you're at all interested in this, I highly encourage you to go check out the videos that they have on that page, because it's kind of impressive now.
It is. I mean, that's really cool. If they've brought it that far along in just a couple of years, that's pretty amazing. But with all of these, too, you can check them all out at digitaltrends.com for awesome tech you can't buy yet. We do this every week where Drew finds all of these different crowdfunding campaigns to take a look at, and it is always fun seeing them. Drew, good to see you. Good to talk to you. I hope to see you in one of those mechs someday. Maybe we can race each other, but until then, I'll talk to you soon.